Hello, everyone. This is author, motivational speaker, and dating coach Matthew C. Horn, and I bring you a video tonight titled Sexually Attractive Men and the Necessary Evil of Rejection. Before we go any further, always know my videos in the dating space, they're inspired by my books, How to Get Beautiful Women and Everything Else You Want from Life, in addition to How to Be Appealing to Successful Black Men for Black Women. They're both available at my website, www.matthewchorne.com. Get your copies, and everyone who's ordered, I shipped everything out. Your books are on the way. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and to continue to push me with the algorithm so I can continue to bring you these messages that are elevating your mind and getting you elevated results. I'm enjoying this. I'm really enjoying this, and I hope you all are enjoying this as well. But let's get right to it. Sexually attractive men and the necessary evil of rejection. The first thing that cripples men from experiencing prosperity and abundance with women is their ego. The ego is something that will rob you of elevated experiences with beautiful women. The ego tells you that you should not approach women out of fear of rejection. That's pure ego based. But it's ultimately going to be the faith in yourself, in your development, and your humility that's going to allow you to approach any woman and not care about the end result. And a lot of you that are afraid to approach women and you're trying to preserve your ego because you're afraid of rejection, that's why your bed is cold at night, because you're not willing to go through the no's to accumulate the accumulation of no's necessary to experience the yeses that are aligned with the desired outcomes that you want with beautiful women. So you have to get your ego out of the way. Only ego is afraid. Ego is fear-based. Okay? Anything that's fear-based is going to rob you of the best experiences in life. So your ego says, do not approach her. Your ego is entrenched in the fear of the lack of development that you've done on yourself. Because if you've truly developed yourself, you do not feel the sting of rejection. The ego is removed when you're regularly in the space of beautiful women who give you the desired outcomes that you want with them, meaning you're not afraid to approach. So the ego and the fear is all based in your lack of development and your trust in yourself that you're going to consistently get the outcomes that you want with beautiful women. So I had to address the ego first, because the ego is the very thing that makes rejection have a sting. The ego is the very thing that allows rejection to have a sting. But when you've developed yourself and you're clicking on all cylinders, and sexually attractive men, they're in a perpetual state of self-development. Anybody who's continuously getting the outcomes that they want and having elevated experiences in life and favorable and enjoyable experiences, they're in a perpetual state of self-development. So when you're perpetually self-development and developing yourself, you're consistently getting outcomes, so you don't feel the sting of the no when you're constantly in the sea of beautiful women who are giving you the yes. So if you're afraid to approach women based on your ego, you have to stare at the level of development that you've done on yourself. Because if you truly developed yourself, rejection has no sting at all. It has no sting. You just pivot. A woman doesn't see you the way that you see yourself. A woman isn't giving you the outcomes and the energy that you want. Who cares? Who cares? You just go to the next woman because you developed yourself into a consistently recognizable man who's regularly getting yeses. You cannot feel the sting of a no if you're regularly getting yeses. So you have to develop yourself. You have to develop yourself into the man that's consistently getting the yeses from women. You can't be afraid to approach, because your abundance and your prosperity is right beyond the approach. It's right beyond the approach, but you'll never make the approach if you're a fear-based individual, if you're full of ego. You have to be willing to get through the accumulation of no's to create the yeses. It's really that simple. Whether you're in sales, whether you're trying to get beautiful women, it's all the same. You have to make your approaches, and you have to be completely detached from the outcomes. And it's easier to be detached from the outcomes when you're consistently getting the outcomes that you want with beautiful women. It's that simple. That red beam of lust is a real thing that you've heard me talk about. How can you feel the sting of rejection when you can pivot and consistently get that red beam of lust from a woman that looks even better than her. You're fearful because you haven't done the work on yourself. And I want to make this real. I want to make this real for you. So I'll go back 13 years. This is a story that comes from my book, How to Get Beautiful Women and Everything Else You Want from Life. I was in a particular establishment. I talked to this girl, and she gave me some lukewarm energy, tried to posture herself above me, tried to make it seem as if I may or may not hear from her. Like, she was being sort of disrespectful and nasty towards me, and I just stepped off. And I literally didn't step away from her, I pivoted. And walking into the spot, it was a very small spot on 16th Street in DC. It's probably been renamed 50 times since I was up in there 13 years ago. And this beautiful Spanish and black girl walks up in the spot. She has some people around her, and they were coming from another establishment. They were just hopping around, and I guess this was their final this was the final destination for the night. And so I pivoted from the other girl, like whatever, that no meant nothing. And in walks a flawless, mixed, gorgeous woman that I deem as flawless. She was my type, long hair, caramel skin. I mean, she was gorgeous. And I pivoted. I didn't even have to walk away from the other girl. I just turned away and started talking to this girl. We locked eyes as soon as she walked in. And I was not afraid of a yes or a no. I could care less. She was what I wanted. No ego. Yeah, this woman just rejected me, but there was no ego. So I started talking to this girl. We call her R. R is giving me the red beam of lust. R is completely engaged with me, in close proximity to me. And I didn't make it a long interaction. I stated my proclamation, let her know after the small talk what I was there for, that I wanted to see where we can go. R gave me her number right in front of the girl who just rejected me, who didn't look as good as her. And R hit me up the next day. We got together, and me and R, we had a good two-week run. It was enjoyable. It was enjoyable. And for whatever reason, R and I, we did our thing a couple times, and we went out, and we spent some days together, because I was an entrepreneur even back then, 13 years ago in my 20s. And she wasn't working at the time, but she was holding down some sort of situation. And so we just had a lot of free time on our hands. We were just exploring DC in the middle of the day, just doing enjoyable things. It was just fun. And R eventually pulled herself back, and it was cool. It was no big deal. And R eventually saw that I didn't care about her rejection. So mind you, the theme of everything is rejection, right? So I didn't necessarily care about that, and just whatever. And literally less than a week after R, did her delayed rejection, I was introduced, through my little brother, to another girl at a gym. He wanted me to come work out with him, and this and that. And this particular girl, tall, red bone, wavy hair, my type if you can watch my videos. And she was just completely entrenched in me when we met. I mean, she was working at the gym, and she suspended everything, walked right up to me as soon as she saw me. We exchanged information. So we ended up going out maybe a day or two later after we met. And mind you, this is still a less than a week after R, rejected me, right? So me and this girl go out, and it's a spot on U Street in DC. And R actually tried to come back after she rejected me, but I just didn't. I wasn't really feeling her energy, and so she emailed me, and I emailed her back. It's like, everything is cool. I'll say what's up to you if I see you. So ironically enough, I'm with this new girl, and this is less than a week later after R and I ended things. And I go up in this spot to meet the girl. I got there ahead of the new girl. So I inadvertently, unexpectedly run into R. And everything's cool. I give her a hug, say what's up, keep it short, go to the bathroom. By the time I come out the bathroom, the new girl's right there waiting on me. The girl I'm meeting up with that day. And R had no idea that I was there to meet up with someone. And so she's hugging me, she's embracing me right in front of her, right in front of R. And this was July 4th. It was like fireworks day. So there was a guy hosting a party that I ran into that day, and I didn't expect to run into him either. And so we went up 13th Street, 13th and U, and we watched some daytime fireworks. And R was a part of the crew because she knew my guy that was throwing the party that I didn't know was throwing the party. It was just, DC is small. DC is very small. So it's me and the new girl, and R is right there. We're all on the side of 13th Street. I think it was a Cardoza High School or something like that, and we're in front of it, and we're watching fireworks. And R could not stand to look at me and this girl. This girl's embracing me, she's hugging me, she's giving me all this energy, and R has to stare at the magnitude of what she lost. And one thing I don't want to get lost as I'm telling this story is that you don't want to be a weak man that tries to throw things in a woman's face who rejected you. If you're truly a sexually attractive man, an elevated man who's worked on himself, then the universe is going to work out the particulars of everyone who's done you wrong. And that was just a prime example of a woman who walked away from me for whatever reasons that she had, and in walks the new girl. That's why you don't feel the sting of rejection. There's always a new girl walking in. And she could not stand to look at it. And look at us. And I tell this story in more detail in How to Get Beautiful Women and Everything Else You Want from Life. This is a real example of a story and an experience that I had. And so I didn't have to tell R, when she tried to come back and email me like, I got all these girls checking for me. Nah, that's weak beta behavior. I just said, no, I'll keep it cool with you when I see you. And when I saw her unexpectedly, less than a week later after she rejected me, I did everything I said I was going to do. And in walks the new girl, who's a very suitable match for me. Because I'm tall as I can possibly be at 6'5", and this 5'9" red bone, long wavy hair chick is lighting up as soon as she sees me, and it happens right in front of R. So the universe will work out the particulars of people who've done you wrong, so you don't have to compensate or try to make women feel the sting of them rejecting you. The universe is going to do that. And that's to anybody who walks through life the right way. The universe is going to work out the particulars of people who've done you wrong. That's just how it works. That's the universe. That's bigger than you and I. That's God. And so one thing I don't want to get lost in what I just said is that some women reject you right off the bat. Some women reject you blatantly. And some women will actually accept you and celebrate you, and they will reject you on the back end. So rejection comes in one of those two forms, but regardless of how it comes, you don't feel the sting, because if you developed yourself into the sexually attractive man that's clicking on all cylinders, you're regularly swimming in the sea of beautiful women. And that's what I don't want to get lost. That's where everything is even. That's where the recompense is made on your behalf. You're regularly swimming in the sea of beautiful women. So how can you feel the sting of rejection if you're regularly swimming in the sea of beautiful women? And I want to backtrack. I want you all to stay with me. I'm trying to be congruent with these examples and talk in a very tight circle. So one thing that R did during the 2 weeks that we had together, she actually showed me off to her aunt who was living with her at the time. She was living in Columbia Heights, like off of maybe 13th or 14th Street. And I had to, drive through an alley to get to her spot. And I remember us getting out the car, and her aunt was outside, like in the back entrance of the building that she lived in. And she introduced me to her aunt, and essentially she was just like, look what the hell I found. She took a step back, stood by her aunt, and looked at me in admiration and was like, look what I found. And that's crazy how the rejection can come from a woman who even shows you off. But I'm going somewhere. So that's just an example of how women who are extremely attracted to you, they will literally take a step back and show you off. Like like you're a some sort of showpiece, or just some sort of focal point. Like they'll show you off. Now I don't want that to get lost because that ties into everything that I'm saying. So she took that step back and showed me off and was just like, look what I found. But I'm saying that to say that is the regular experience of the sexually attractive man. You have gorgeous women who are showing you off to their friends, their families, and associates. That's when you're the sexually attractive man. So I'm saying that because how can you feel the sting of a woman who brushes you off when sexually desirable women, gorgeous women, are showing you off? So if a woman tells you no, you don't care, because you're not just in the space of beautiful women who are receptive and who can recognize the magnitude of man that you are. These women are so into you that they're showing you off. That's one of the highest compliments that a woman can give to you, is that she brings you around people that she knows and she takes a step back and she shows you off. As like you're some sort of species, you know. But you're a showpiece. If you become a sexually attractive man, you're a showpiece. And so you can never feel the sting of a woman rejecting you and brushing you off if gorgeous women are showing you off. And I don't want that to get lost. I want you to fully inhale and absorb what I just said. You're regularly being shown off. And that rejection, it sometimes is stacked and sometimes it's immediate. Sometimes it's just a woman brushing you off. I don't want to deal with you. And women don't owe you anything, so you're not supposed to feel a way about that. But then sometimes you'll have an interaction, a brief interaction with the woman. You think things are going well. And then for whatever reason, she backs off. She brushes you off. So delay can be, the rejection can be immediate or it can be staggered, but it's still rejection. But underneath it all, you're still not supposed to feel the sting of it. And that's the whole point of what I'm saying. Sexually attractive men, they don't feel the sting of rejection. It's just a necessary evil. And if you're truly going to get to a prosperous place, because rejection is just a catalyst for you to have prosperous and enjoyable experiences with women, with beautiful women. Rejection is just a catalyst for you to have prosperous and enjoyable experiences with beautiful women. That's why I said in the beginning of the video, that's why your bed is cold, because you don't want to take the risk. You're afraid of the rejection. But you have to embrace the rejection to get to the yeses from the type of women who represent your ideal type. And if you have developed yourself enough, you're in a consistent, perpetual state of self-development, you're regularly going to be in the space of beautiful women who celebrate you. And that's how you don't feel the sting of the rejection. So that's all I'm encouraging you to do with this video, is to develop yourself to the point that you're experiencing so many yeses that you don't feel the sting of a no. And you understand that your humility and the lack of ego and your fearlessness is the catalyst to bypass the no's to get to the yeses from the women who are representation of the type of women that you like, your preference. They're always there. No's and yeses always coexist. But your development that you're doing yourself, your perception that you have of yourself based on the developments that you've done of yourself, is going to give you access to the yeses from the type of women that you are into. It's really that simple. So don't feel the sting of the no. And if you feel the sting of the no, you need to contact me for some coaching. I'm going to be real with you. You have some more development. If a woman tells you no and she can shut your whole night down and you don't want to talk to any more women, you haven't developed yourself into the sexually attractive man. That's one thing I'm thankful for today, is the coaching call that I had earlier. And the gentleman, he walked away with a lot of value. He thanked me for my wisdom. But underneath it all, he says that we covered everything that I wanted to talk about, meaning that everything was potent. I didn't try to string things along and get an extra coaching session. No, I'm here to give you potent, direct answers, and that's what he was thankful for. So if you know that you need to catch up to this message that I've articulated tonight, just hit me up for some coaching, matt@matthewchorne.com, and we'll get those yeses coming on a regular basis to the point that you don't feel the sting of the no. It's really that simple. This has been Matthew C. Horne, author, motivational speaker, and dating coach. Bring you a video tonight titled, Sexually Attractive Men. They don't feel the sting of the no. It's just a necessary evil. Sexually attractive men understand that rejection is just a necessary evil. It's a catalyst to the yeses that are an elevated representation of the experiences that you want to have based on an elevated version of yourself that you're bringing, not just to beautiful women, but to life every day. It's been brought to you by my books, How to Get Beautiful Women and Everything Else You Want from Life, in addition to How to Be Appealing to Successful Black Men for Black Women. They're both available at my website, www.matthewchorne.com. Get your copies. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and to continue to push me with the algorithm so I can continue to bring you these elevated messages. I'm enjoying helping you all as you all help me to continue to grow and prosper. And if you are in need of coaching, I can't say that enough. If you're in need of coaching, if my voice resonates with you, if I'm the voice that resonates with you, every video that you hear, even if it's your first time, if my voice resonates with you, I promise you that my voice and my direction and my guidance is the catalyst to help you to get the outcomes that you want with beautiful women. If you're in need of coaching and you know that you want desired outcomes that you are not experiencing in this moment, email me at matt@matthewchorne.com. Leave your name, your phone number, and whatever issue that you're facing in the dating space. I will do an assessment and get back to you with answers in the terms of the coaching. And the coaching will begin immediately. I will immediately fast track you and put you on the race to get the outcomes that you want in the dating space. If this video has been of value to you and you know that your thought processes have been elevated as a result of encountering my message tonight, don't forget to donate. Drop something in my donation information that's in my video description, my PayPal and my Cash App. You know I'm spitting that real. You know it's no filter, no fluff. You know I'm spitting that elevated game, that Patreon level game. I'm spitting it every day. So donate and show your appreciation and your thanks. Continue to help me to grow. My PayPal and my Cash App is in my video description. Other than that, I feel like, I've said enough for tonight. And people who want the custom videos understand that if you want me to talk about a particular topic, make a custom video, a donation of $50 or more to my PayPal and my Cash App will get your video on my page, Matthew C. Horn Dating, within 24 hours or less. Leave your video title and a note with your donation on PayPal and Cash App, or if you want me to have a more in-depth understanding of what you want me to talk about, donate first and then email me at matt@matthewchorne.com. And I will do an assessment once again, and I will give you that potent game that's an answer to the topic that you want me to speak on. I've enjoyed spending some time with you all tonight. And just remember, you can never feel the sting of rejection when you become the elevated man that regularly gets the yeses from the type of women that you're into. Your ego has to be suspended so that you can have an abundance of experiences with beautiful women that are favorable to you. Never fear the no's, and become a man that's always swimming in an abundance of yeses from beautiful women. I'll see you soon.